Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Walk and Talk Wednesday.
It's a beautiful day.
Yeah.
A little windy, but
Well, last night we had kind of a short city council meeting. What did we figure out?
Well, council adopted a resolution to apply for some grant funding for a trail project along Cliff Avenue to the south side of the Showplace property that would connect, the eastern neighborhoods off Cliff over to Central Park. So we're excited about that, and hopefully that'll be a successful application.
Activity in town.
Yeah, connectivity improves pedestrian safety.
that's the RTP grant program, Recreational Trails Program through the state. And we can leverage that grant money. That definitely is a benefit to the city, given our the limited revenues that we have to do projects like that. So that'll be a good one to get sent off by the end of the week.
Yeah.
What else do we have on there? Oh, we gave some money to the American Legion. They are planning a pretty big 4th of July shindig, and then they've got some plans for they're gonna purchase some, like, I don't know, large lawn games, big Jengas, things like that that'll be available, for the public to rent. And so, yeah, I mean, other than that, it was a pretty quick meeting. There was an item related to the Willow project, so we thought we'd come out here today and talk a little bit about that. But we've officially kicked off Willow Street Reconstruction, which is so exciting and it's definitely going to change how traffic moves through town during construction and then after. So we thought we'd have Chad and Heath give us a little update on what's going on.
So Chad, we're obviously not standing on Willow. We're up here on Plainside Avenue between the high school and one of the elementary schools. What are we doing up here, and how does this relate to the Willow work?
Well, the south half of this has been a part of a private subdivision, and then the other part here between the two schools has been something we've been planning to pave here for quite a while. So this is kind of the phase 1A of the project, and this will be a good route for everybody to use once we get the road done. And so we started here on Monday. We're waiting for asphalt plants to open up, and then hopefully we can be out of here in a couple of weeks, and then people can start using this road.
So this will be part of the detour, is that right?
It's part of where we want local traffic to take. Yeah.
Okay.
So with Willow, we have a main detour route that we want a lot of what we would call non-neighborhood traffic to use, right?
Yep.
That puts people on Cliff Avenue up to 272nd and then over to Minnesota Avenue. But Plainside would be what we would call a neighborhood or a traffic detour.
Yeah, I mean it's a collector street, and this will be a good place for the local residents to get out to Minnesota Avenue or vice versa. And a lot of people, it's been gravel since we did the roundabout, and a lot of people have used it since it's been gravel. So as I've talked to the people using the path and stuff, they've all been pretty excited that we're getting it done.
Yeah, we talked about pathways a little bit ago, that grant application. Now, what are we doing with pathways up here related to this project?
So you'd be amazed at how many people use this path. There's a path here that comes south from the high school. There's a path coming from the east here that comes from this neighborhood, and then that path continues north up to Freedom Elementary. And so you got people walking, and you got scooters, and you got bicyclists. So what we're going to do is we're going to take out a little bit of the asphalt path, put in new concrete, and then we're going to have, where the path crosses the street here, we're going to have we call it a raised tabletop or walkway that just kind of, it's a more of a pronounced crossing. You come up a little bit, so you're kind of, you're 6 inches above the
kind of a traffic calming.
Yeah,
effect.
yeah, exactly. So just something so people are more aware, and there's going to be a crossing there. So
great. That will help with the foot traffic through this area too. Then, especially in relation to Willow closing and still want to maintain that pedestrian connectivity through here, not just for the vehicles.
Yeah, and speaking of a grant, I know the school district has received a grant to put lighting along this.
They did, yeah.
So that's going to be another addition that's really going to improve everything out here in this pathway.
Great. And how long before Plainside is open? I know. So I should preface that question with knowing that any dates we give are always contingent to change
Yes.
given the weather or the contractor schedule. But generally speaking, when do we think Plainside will be open?
I think, you know, probably by the April 20th. So it's, you know, under 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Fingers crossed that the asphalt plants get open, and then they're grading this right now. Then they'll put in some gravel, curb and gutter. All the utilities are done. Then we'll put the bottom lift. We'll put the top lift on this street and finish this up and get the pass poured and hopefully get it open to traffic.
Mayor, have you signed up for notifications for the Willow
Yeah.
construction progress? And
Kind of nice to keep up with the updates on what's going on and with the closures and everything.
yeah,
So willowstreet.info. There's on the top, on the left, on the home page, there's a button to sign up, a red button. And then every time we put a notification out there, you'll get an email, and we're putting updated maps up. And there'll be another one going up today, talking about the closure on the 13th on Willow.
yeah, that's a great tool for the community to use. And,
Yes.
on that site, you can pull up all the detour routes. Again, the primary route is not Plainside. It is Cliff 272nd, Minnesota. But we did want to showcase this project, the kickoff to Willow, starting here on Plainside, and why this little segment is important.
So while this is happening on Plainside, what's currently happening on Willow, and when do we expect we won't shut Willow down until this is complete, or is this happening in tandem?
So right now, what you see on Willow is the road will be expanding to where these guys are working today, and that's mostly the private utilities, the gas lines, the electric. They're moving their infrastructure farther out, north and south. And then what'll happen on the 13th, on this Monday, and we'll probably close it at 8:30 in the morning, is we'll be closing Willow between the Casey's Sanford entrance and Shebel / Prairie Side, which is just east of Quick Star. And Shebel and Prairie Side will stay open, but we'll be doing some sanitary sewer work in that small portion to get ready for moving on. And then we won't close any more of Willow until we have this open.
Great.
So, and hopefully we'll have that mapped up here very shortly.
That way, Honeysuckle and Creekside Commons area, they can still access Willow and head west.
Yep. Or they can come this way and
for a few weeks anyway.
Yeah.
Before we get an additional closure.
Right. Yep.
Will school be out by the time we have all that closed?
No. I mean, we'll probably school will be in session for about a month, maybe, after we do the larger closure on Willow.
Okay.
Great question, though, Mayor. We just Chad and I and the project team met with the school district just last week and had a very good coordination discussion about the detour routes. And I know the school district is working on sharing as much information as they can to the student body and helping mitigate any traffic congestion as we can with the project. So it's always great to have that partnership with the school district, working closely with them and keeping them updated each step of the way too.
And I would just highlight that, leave a little bit early. There's going to be it's going to take a little longer.
Pay attention to the road
Pay attention to the signs, slow down.
Any construction project, I would just want to encourage people to please take their time and just understand that things are going to take a little longer to get where you want to go. You're going to have to take modified routes to get there. But in good time, you'll see progress, and we're going to have a beautiful new road coming into our great city. And hopefully it all goes without a hitch. And
we've, like you said, we've worked closely with the school, and we're going to try to do a lot of the work that would impact school traffic when school is out.
Yeah.
And, cross our fingers that by this fall, when school's ready to start, we're hopefully done or very close to being done.
Yeah. Anything else we want to touch on with Willow?
I don't think
Mayor,
so.
Amanda?
I don't think so. I mean, we'll do this with some regularity so everyone can kind of see what's going on. So watch our social media for these videos and others. I know the team has been working hard on figuring out the right way to continue to share information. But thanks for joining us today. We'll see you in a couple weeks, right?
Yeah, sounds good.
See ya.
Right.